structure, all that advice is built on the old game. And there's a psychological cost to admitting the game changed, because if the game changed, then it means that everything you were told was wrong. It's called cognitive dissonance. If everything I've been told is wrong, then everything I know must change. Everything I know is up in question, and that's very hard to accept. But if you look around you, right? If you just take a look around, the evidence is everywhere. The people getting rich right now aren't climbing the old ladder. They're building service-based businesses in 90 days. They're using tax efficiency to reclaim 40 or 50 cents of every single dollar. They're borrowing against assets instead of selling them. They're playing an entirely different game. I mean, the biggest financial risk that you can take right now isn't starting a business. It's not buying Bitcoin. It's continuing to play a game that was designed for a world that no longer exists. Okay, so now let me lay it out for you. There's 5 levels that you need to go through in this new game. I'm going to walk you through each layer one by one so you can understand the structural difference between the two games, right? We're going to go through the 5 levels of capital. That's what we're going to use as our reference point. All right, so we start with level number 1. Now this level didn't change. This level number 1 is labor. In this part, we're working, right? We have a job. We're trading our time for money. And in this role, typically we're fully taxed, right? So I'm working, I'm earning money. The government takes their cut off the top. I have whatever's left, and then I pay for my life, and maybe I save a couple bucks. The problem with that is, of course, it's not scalable, right? This is where most people spend their entire career. They're stuck at level 1. Think about it like a video game. But the goal would be then to climb up to level 5. But let's go to level 2. So hopefully, after the government's taken their cut, I've spent my life, for my lifestyle, and then I save a little bit. That's level 2, savings. So hopefully, I'm investing whatever's left after taxes, right? Now, this is better. At least now I have a future. I have some assets that are growing, but it's still very slow, okay? But this is where almost all conventional financial advice lives. As I said, go to school, get good grades, save for retirement for 40 years. Most people never get past level 2, but we're going to get to level 5. So level 3 is ownership. We want to be owners. We want to own property. But more importantly than that, we want to be owners because in ownership, the entire business system, the entire tax code was written for owners. If you're not an owner, if you're in level 1 or 2, you're punished. If you're in level 3, 4, or 5, it's written for you. So I want to own productive assets. These are businesses. This might be real estate, rental real estate. I have equity in other businesses, equity in private equity or venture capital, right? This is where wealth starts appearing. Of course, Bitcoin is one of my favorite assets to own, and things like that. This is where the wealth really starts appearing because now your wealth is compounding every single year. Compounding means it's growing on top of growing on top of growing. 5%, 8%, 20%, 30%,